Welcome to Trade Pro. In this video I test the Slingshot system trading strategy 100 times in a row so you can see how it performs over a series of trades. But first I will explain this trading strategy and show you the author. And another really funny thing about this indicator that the author says in the description. So here it is, author's Chris Moody. And the explanation is all here. I'll go over this, but first, really funny thing that the author said. So apparently with this system, this author got an email about a trend following system that sells for $1,000, but that he could buy it that day for only $500. That's this system. He figured that this was such a simple system, he could just code it himself and throw it up on TradingView for free. So apparently someone out there is trying to sell this system for $500 and claim that it's worth $1,000. I don't even know if it's profitable, but let's see in the test. This is what it is. It's essentially just a color changing band that will signal the trend direction. And my understanding is that it's just some EMAs. So the entry signal is going to be these color-coded candles. I'm only going to be taking the conservative entries, so the blue highlighted candles with the arrows. There's also these aggressive yellow highlighted bars, but I'm not going to be doing the aggressive approach, more of a conservative guy myself. So really simple. Essentially, you're just taking entry signals in the direction of the trend. And I mean, this isn't anything more than just taking entries on pullbacks into some EMAs. That's essentially what this is. You're entering on pullbacks into some EMAs. I mean, that's what the system is. And someone was trying to sell this for $500 and claim it was worth $1,000. I mean, props to them for trying to make a quick buck, but come on now. So the stop loss, I'm going to be just using this stop loss indicator, and I'll show you this as well. I've shown it on a few videos, but I know I'm going to always get people asking. Trailing stop loss multiple of ATR, Blue Phantom is the author, and my settings for it. Here they are. And everything's default on the Slingshot system as well. So I'm just going to be doing the typical 1 to 2 risk to reward. So we get an entry on this candle. Stop loss goes to the stop loss indicator, targeting 2 times the risk for the profit target. And this particular screen I have up right now looks really nice because it's a strong downtrend, but when things start getting choppy, so all these entries were pretty solid, and then when things get choppy it doesn't look so nice anymore. Yeah, I mean the main thing is that this thing just gives a ton of signals. That's not a good short. Honestly, so far what I've shown you guys here has been pretty good. Most of these entries are pretty decent. But upon kind of examining more of the non-trending parts, this thing just gives a ton of entry signals. So, you can probably figure out a way to make this better. But, I mean, you're really just buying pullbacks on the trend, and it's just a method to do that. So, I like this system just because it's trend following, it's simple, it gives you defined entry criteria, and I'm assuming it's going to be profitable just because it's going with the trend, and I'm having a 2 times risk profit target. But hopefully it doesn't give too many signals on the choppy bits where it just destroys itself. But anyway, it's time for 100 tests. I think you understand the strategy. It's very simple. Let's get into it. The results are in after 100 back-tested signals, but before I go over the results, I want to say that I have a way to make this perform a lot better and actually make it a good strategy. One or two things that can be added in to really make the results a lot better. So I'll go over those ideas after reviewing the results for this. So the results after 100 back-tested signals using a 1-to-2 risk-reward ratio, which took 2 months of price data to find the 100 signals. There were 36 winners, 64 losses, giving it a 36% win rate. The most losses in a row, 23. Most winners in a row, only 7. Comparatively to the losses, the 7 is terrible. And then gain on the account, 8%, and closer to nothing when you factor in fees and spreads. So really gets destroyed in the ranges is what the deal is here. 23 losses in a row is the worst I've seen out of pretty much all my time testing in my whole trading career. And it's due to just how many signals this thing gives in the ranges and not having a filter to make sure the market's trending before looking for an entry signal. So what you need to do to make this strategy or this system perform a lot better is add in hidden divergence. And once you have found hidden divergence, you can then look for a signal using this strategy. Okay, so it's going to make sure that for the most part, you're getting into a trending environment so that you're going to have a much higher chance of winning. You could probably get the win rate up into the high 40s, maybe even 50%. If you do add that in. And then another layer you could add in would be a higher time frame trend confirmation where you are going up to the 4-hour, 12-hour, or daily and just making sure that you're taking trades in the direction of the main longer term trend. And that's going to also increase your odds of being correct. Okay, so I think another factor that I'm not sure, I'd have to test more to find out, but the stop loss seemed to be a little far away. Maybe just bringing it in by a little bit on that stop loss would catch a few extra wins as well. But I'd have to test on that one. But I do know that hidden divergence would definitely be the thing that would make this perform well. Because in those ranges, this thing will give tons of signals in both directions and it just eats itself alive. So that is pretty much what I have to say about it. I'm not super against this system, but I think it's hilarious that someone tried to sell this for $500. It's just, it doesn't even work. Like, it doesn't work well in the way they sold it. So it's just hilarious that people would try to do that type of thing. And sad that someone might fall for this. That is quite sad, but it is what it is. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say about it. Hopefully you enjoyed watching and can maybe take something away from this, but have a fantastic day. Thank you very much for watching.